Hello there, and welcome to this new episode of the Unmasked podcast. My name is Andy, and for this first audio episode, I am joined by someone who I know a little bit. I know you a little bit, and that is my fiancé, Nicola. Hello.
Hello.
How are you getting on?
Okay.
Good, good. So how come it's an audio episode, Nicola?
Because I've got a spotty face.
She's got a spotty face, ladies and gentlemen. And, you know, I said we could just do it on camera, like, no one's going to be too bothered about it. But you were like, no, you were...
I'm bothered about it.
Well, you're bothered, and I care about things that you are bothered with. So, as I think I've already said this already, you're my fiancé.
Yeah.
And I've known you for quite a while. 7 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, because I haven't really featured you on the channel for a long time, could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, my name's Nicola and I'm a Sagittarius. I like long walks on the beach. No, I don't know. I'm just me.
Like, I don't know, what do you like?
I like The Sims. I like books. I like the Vampire Diaries.
The originals.
I'm quite into that kind of genre, I suppose, of like sort of like mythological sort of creatures and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I just find it fascinating that stories about vampires and like werewolves and witches and stuff have been told for centuries. Like, I'm kind of into that kind of stuff. It's like, where did it all come from? Like, there must have been something from where it originated.
Yeah. Besides being my fiancé, you're a working person.
Yeah.
You work and all of that lovely stuff. But I guess my next question, which is a question that I'm asking all of my guests, what is your special interest? What is your, like, favourite hobby?
Don't really have hobby as such.
You don't really
I don't
have a
really
hobby?
like play like an instrument. I don't really do like artsy stuff. I haven't read in a long time. I suppose the only thing I could class as a hobby is The Sims.
I was gonna say you know quite a lot about The Sims, and I remember a time when you were trying to get me into The Sims, being like, "Oh, Andy, you can make your own family, and you can I don't know, you can make them die and stuff. You can get the Grim Reaper out and cause havoc, and you can put up walls around the pool while someone's swimming around it." And it's just like, what are you? No.
Yeah, but the thing is, The Sims, yeah, you can do stuff like that, but I like more doing like the challenges and stuff that people in the Sim community create. So there's stuff like you can do like 100 baby challenge, so you have to have 100 babies with 100 different people, and it's like quite complicated because obviously there's like different criteria you have to meet and stuff. And then there's like my personal favourite one to do is Rags to Riches, but only because in The Sims 4 it is so easy to make money in The Sims 4 without having to get a job. But
Yeah.
it's like a sort of I'm one of these people that like I'll spend forever creating a really beautiful sim, and I'll design a really beautiful house. I could literally spend 5 hours altogether creating a sim in a house and then go, right, well, I don't really have time to play. Then the next time I go to play, I'm like, I don't really want to play with that sim, so I delete the file and start a new one.
I was gonna say this happens all of the time, guys. Like, I'll see her playing on The Sims, just doing her thing on The Sims, and then I don't know. The next time she goes on The Sims, I don't know. I'll see her make a new person just completely off the bat. I'm like, why are you making a new person? You've already made one.
I got bored of that one. I wanted to make a new one. I feel like because you've got so much you can do in it, I kind of want to do everything at the same time, so I kind of find it hard to stick with just, say for instance, doing the culinary career. Like, I get so far through and I'm like, right,
You're bored.
I'm kind of bored of that.
Yeah.
I want to try the astronaut career, so I'll start doing that. And then it's like, oh wait, no, I want to be a doctor. So I just keep like making new Sims.
Actually, quick question. How do you feel about the Star Wars expansion?
Personally, I wouldn't go out and buy it. I mean, there's a few packs I haven't bought simply because I've looked at the content and what you get from it, and I'm like, either it's not enough for the price you're paying, or it's just something that doesn't interest me. Because the Star Wars pack is essentially gonna be sort of like, it's like sort of like a kind of like you it's like you've got the freedom to do what you want, but at the same time there's like, if you want to play it properly, there's like, it's a bit like a quest sort of thing, so you've got to like do certain things and meet certain people, and it's just a bit like, that doesn't interest me. I like the freedom to do what I want. It's the same reason I never bought the Strangerville pack, because you follow like sort of like a storyline of trying to find out why people are being possessed, trying to unlock like the government, the military secrets and stuff, and then finding the mother plant and killing the mother plant, and then it's just like,
it's just a whole thing.
Yeah, I'd rather just, I'm not that kind of player of The Sims. I know some people are, but I'm more of a make random people and just play out whatever I want.
Well, that was probably the polite answer. That was, I remember when you told me about the Star Wars expansion pack. We were in bed, and like, Andy, because I was watching something on Netflix or something like that, and you were like, Andy. I was like, what? And you were like, they're doing an expansion pack of Star Wars on The Sims. This is disappointing, or something like that.
It kind of was, because people were expecting something different, because like, they usually do like a thing where they have the community vote on certain things, and then they make certain things that were voted on into a pack. Like, everyone was complaining that the Nifty Knitting pack, because it was about knitting and it was like stuff, and people were just like, oh, that's kind of boring. But people forget that they did put out a voting panel, and some of the things you could have voted on were a lot better than knitting, but people chose knitting. But you could have had like a Ghostbusters career kind of thing. There was stuff to do around becoming the Grim Reaper, and then there was like haunted mansion like type ones and stuff, but people chose the knitting ones. Then they complained because they got the knitting pack. But I think it's just, I don't know, like, a lot of people in the community, like, the simple things that they want from EA to do in The Sims. So they want them to put in bunk beds, they want them to put in like more interactions with babies and stuff like that, give toddlers a bit more of a purpose, and it's just like, but they just sort of don't do that.
Yeah.
And it's like, then they just like team up with Star Wars and bring out a Star Wars pack, and I think a lot of people in the Sims community are very, very annoyed by it, because it's like, it's not necessarily something that it's going to please everyone. It kind of just seems a bit like a money grab.
Well, I'm just gonna say it probably was, but to be fair, Star Wars is obviously, you know, it's a massive
franchise.
Massive franchise,
Yeah.
and obviously,
I know it's popular, and there is some people out there that will like The Sims and Star Wars, and it's like the best thing for dream come true for them.
yeah, and plus to be fair, I think EA over the last couple of years as well have put out some really good games, like with the Star Wars brand. I mean, Fallen Order was actually quite a good one, but actually, one of the reasons why I wanted to ask you on was because I did a live stream a few weeks ago. You were basically saying to people that were on the stream, oh, who would want me on a video or a podcast episode? And those people were just like, yeah.
Yeah, but people wanted the conspiracies.
I don't know, I have been thinking about that actually, because obviously this podcast is really new to me. This is actually the second recording I've ever done. I am actually thinking about something, but that'll more likely be 2021 at this point. But you know, we've got a load to go through anyway today. So, how did we meet?
What context, like where, or like
No.
how we got talking?
How we got talking? You know, started the precipice. Started the juiciest part of the story.
Well,
you know,
we first started talking online,
and
then we were like, we should meet up, and then it was a case of you came to Durham,
yeah.
and I waited for you in the bus station for like 3 hours because you got on the wrong bus and were late.
Right. I'm just gonna say this now for the record. It wasn't 3 hours.
But
It was more likely 1 or 2. I can't remember.
It felt like 3 hours because it was freezing cold.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that, but I wanted to ask you. You know, when you first saw me online, what did you actually think of me? Because I'm gonna say what I thought. Like, what attracted you to me?
Well, one, because you came up in my top 10 match results, but also the fact that I saw you with a guitar, and I think, like, I never really thought I had a type, but I guess musicians are my type. I like someone that has some sort of skill where they can create something, whether it's musically or artistically or like.
What I've been doing over the last 4 years or so.
Yeah, I like people that can express themselves. I think that's kind of
Your thing.
my thing, yeah.
I'll tell you how I first came across you. I was actually at my friend Jack's house, and I don't know, I was just online one day, came across you, started reading your bio. You were talking about how you were like into Foo Fighters. I can't remember what else. I think Panic at the Disco was on there as well. And I was like, oh, she sounds really, really cool. She kind of seems like, kind of on my level, really. But then I saw your job description at the time. Right? And obviously, because everyone knows I'm autistic and stuff, I do get fixated on things, and whatever my fixation is, that is the thing that I'm going to go for. And like my fixation for like the past 2 years prior was Subway. I absolutely loved going to Subway. Right. Like college, I was going to college at the time before we met. Like this was 2013 when we met. Like I loved going to Subway, and I saw that your job title was sandwich artist, and I was like, that sounds intriguing. I want to know more about this person, because like all the rest of them were like admin, office worker, veterinarian.
See, people always like laugh when you say like your job role when you work at Subway, like, oh, so you work at Subway, so like what do you do? Like, are you just like a team member or whatever? You're like, no, I'm a sandwich artist.
Yeah, but it sounded really intriguing to me, so I was just like, oh, I'm going to message this person, see what happens. So we got chatting, and I think it was fair to say that, we just got on, I guess.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing for anyone who's like looking for someone, I guess, finding that someone can obviously be difficult at times. But I think it's just about like just trying to find a mutual connection with someone, or something that you find interesting with the person.
Mm-hmm. Like, I think it's nice that you have, like, for us, we have certain interests that we both like, but then we also have our completely different interests.
Yeah.
So it gives us that separation of, well, I can do this thing because it's my thing, and I know you're not interested in it, but like, it's like, this is my time and my thing, and this is what I'll do. Just like you have your own thing, where you will go do, like, for instance, you'll watch stuff on Netflix that I don't particularly enjoy, and I'll watch stuff on Netflix that you don't particularly enjoy, but then we come together and we have those mutual shows or mutual films that we will watch together.
Aye. Yeah, exactly. I guess it's more, I'm interested in the person, and for me, like, I was interested in you and wanted to know more about you, which led us to the infamous first date, where I arrived like late, like really, really late. Basically, I was out at a party the night before, and I was told to go to Durham. So basically, I ended up getting like 2 buses, and the bus that took me to Durham, it took me around all of the villages. Now, if you live in the northeast, and there's like a bus from like Newcastle, goes to like the metro centre, and it goes to like Durham. I don't know if it's still in operation now, but that bus, it goes all around the world. I got on that bus thinking, oh, I'll be there in like half an hour. What were we going to say?
Yeah, but like, there's different buses. Like, there's a more direct bus from Newcastle to Durham, which, yeah, fair enough, it stops off at like Gateshead and Chelsea Street, but it's pretty much straight there, about 40 minutes. But it's a case of, didn't you literally go to Newcastle to change buses?
No. I was where my friend stayed. I got a bus from there to the metro centre, because it was the nearest place. Because it took longer to get from my friend's place back to Newcastle than it would have done if I just went to the metro centre. So I thought, me being intelligent, I'll get myself to the metro centre and get a bus to Durham. I thought it'd be easy.
Yeah.
But no, I was late, and basically I arrived late. You still waited for me, surprisingly.
To be honest, I thought I'd give you the benefit of the doubt and I'll wait. And then it got to like the hour mark and I was like, I think you might just be taking the piss and you're not actually going to come to meet me.
Really?
So there was a point where I was debating whether to get on the bus and just go home. But obviously you were still texting us and you were like, no, I'm on my way, I'm nearly there, blah, blah. So I waited a bit longer and then you finally turned up.
After you waited around for me, luckily, we ended up having our first date. Now, just to say, we didn't plan it, really. We just...
Sort of just met up.
Yeah. Like, I know some people are very much, the first date you should go to the cinema or go for coffee. Well, at the time, there wasn't a cinema in Durham. Now there is.
Yeah.
And also, the other thing I found out is that you're not a tea or coffee drinker.
No, I don't really like tea or coffee. I mean, we could have gone somewhere and I could have got a cold drink, but it's just like, do you know, I just don't like the whole cliche of sitting in a coffee awkwardly trying to get to know someone. I just thought it would be better if we just sort of went for a walk and chatted. Because Durham is a nice place to walk around, especially down beside the river and up past the cathedral and stuff.
It is, it's lovely.
I just think you get to know someone. Well, I feel like people will are probably more comfortable when they've got other things to distract them rather than sitting face to face with someone in a coffee shop.
Yeah,
trying to like explain your life story without sounding like a creep. Do you know what I mean though? Like, you don't really want to sit, like, I think it's like, because I'm an awkward person anyway, like, I wouldn't want to sit in front of someone, have someone sit in front of me when I don't know who they are and be like, so what do you like? Because then it's like, I don't know, I don't like, you just get to that awkward stage of like,
It's like, what we're gonna do?
But at least if you're like out and walking about, you can be like, oh, the cathedral's nice, oh yeah, I like that. Oh, so like, do you like this? And you're like, yeah, and I feel like the conversation kind of flows more naturally.
Yeah, it definitely does. But what we did though, we ended up just sitting by the riverside because there's actually a walk that you can do by the river. It actually, you know, it can actually take you up to the cathedral and stuff. I never actually went to the cathedral that day.
No, we just stayed down by the riverside.
Yeah, literally just stayed by the riverside for
a couple of hours.
Oh no, it was more than that. It was like 4 or 5 hours. Because it was 4 or 5 hours, I remember, because by the time I was getting back on the same bus that I got to come down, the one that went all around the world, it was getting dark by that point. I think it was fair to say that we had a good time. We got to chat and, you know, just do whatever couples do. Well, prospective, future potential things people getting together would do. And met up a few times after that. I showed you around Newcastle because you had never actually came to. Well, I've
been to like the arena.
Oh yeah.
But I've never actually been into Newcastle. Never been in the city centre before.
Whereas, even though I'm on the spectrum and you know, crowds are not something that I'm particularly fond of, I was going to college at what was it called? Newcastle College. I don't know why I kind of forgot the name of the place.
I think you were thinking of Newcastle Uni, then you were like, oh wait, no, it wasn't uni.
I've never been to uni in my life. I think it was nice. It was nice actually because I could actually show you something new as well, and like kind of show you like, I guess how confident socially I was. I think because you were less confident than me. Basically, when I was going to college, I felt like I was kind of like the bee's knees. When did I actually tell you I was autistic? I can't actually remember. Was it the first date?
No.
No?
No, it definitely wasn't on the first date. I'm pretty sure you didn't tell us. Like, you asked me, like, officially to be your girlfriend, and I think it was, like, a few weeks after that, maybe, like, the second or third time after, like, date after that you sort of brought it up.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just like, okay, cool.
I think that's the thing as well, guys. Prior to that, I never actually really disclosed to anyone.
I think when you felt like it was getting, like, the relationship was getting a bit more serious, I think that's when you thought, oh, best tell you now.
Yeah, because at the time I kind of felt like, people who watch my channel, it's linked down below if anyone wants to watch the videos and stuff, but like on previous videos and stuff, well, actually, the one in September actually talked about accepting your diagnosis. I kind of said, oh, it wasn't something that I thought was a good thing to talk about, but I brought it up because because we'd gotten to that point where it was like past the month and like I hadn't actually been with anyone longer than a month because like I don't know, it just never worked out really. But I kind of told you, and you were like, oh, that's cool. I was just like, oh, what? So you're not gonna chuck us out the window or something.
No.
Well, I was so surprised. I was so surprised.
I think as well, it depends on how people are brought up. Like, for me, like with my mum and that, like, she's quite a very open-minded sort of person. It's always like, just accept people for whatever, who cares, like, doesn't matter if they're gay, straight, bi, they've got a disability, they haven't got a disability, it doesn't matter if they're Christian, they're Jewish, it doesn't matter who they are as such, as long as they're a decent person. Like, who gives a crap what people think?
Fair enough. But yeah, no, so actually to bring it back a little bit, obviously I told you I was autistic after I told you after I asked you to be my girlfriend, my GF, my person I'm going to spend all my time with and forget all of my friends.
Yeah.
That does not happen, by the way. If you get into a relationship, keep talking to your friends. It's all good.
It's about finding a balance between friendship and your relationship.
Heck
Because
yeah.
I think, like, when you first start off in a relationship, it is a bit like, it can be kind of intense, especially if it's like your first proper relationship, because it's like you do want to spend all your time with that person, you always want to be around that person, but I think you both need breathing space because you need a chance to miss each other.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Do you want to reminisce about when I asked you out? Like, when... Can you remember anything from it? Like when I asked you out to be my GF?
Well, I remember we were in Newcastle and we were in the Weatherspoons.
Yeah, so I was going to ask you out, and I didn't know how to do it. So I said, Nicola, and this is 100% what I said. I don't remember a lot of things, I'm terrible, but this is exactly what I said. Nicola, hypothetically, if I asked you to be my girlfriend, would you say yes? And you said...
Yes.
And then I said, unhypothetically, if I asked you to be my girlfriend, would you say yes? And you obviously said yes.
Yeah.
Because I'm not the sort of person that likes rejection, I think. So I wanted to go with hypothetically first. So it kind of like eluded you to the idea of what I was going to ask. Because that's just how my brain works. That is literally how my brain works. But yeah, no, so that's how I asked you out. And 7 years later, we're still together.
Well, we're engaged.
Yes, that's true. We are engaged.
We would have been married for the second time on Friday gone.
Yes, just so people are aware, we're recording this on the 20th of September. So Friday we should have been married for the second time.
Yeah.
Oh God, but never mind.
Third time's the charm.
Exactly.
And if not, we're just gonna elope, keep the money that we saved, and just, I don't know, spend it on stuff we want.
But just to close off this point, I guess, about dating and asking someone out. I guess for me, from my perspective, I think it's just obviously about finding a person that you just...
Preferably.
I mean, you could date a tree. I mean, there's not...
each to their own, but...
I mean, that's hip. That's cool. Finding a person that you find common ground with, and, all of that jazzy stuff, really. What else would you say about dating? Because we didn't date for very long. I was very much convinced that, you were the person I wanted to be with.
I suppose you just do what's right for you. You want to go on 50 dates with someone before you decide you want to be with them. Fair dues.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to go on for 3 dates with someone and you think, actually, I kind of feel like this is going to work, we seem to have a bit in common, blah blah blah, then ask them out, like.
Fair enough.
Each to their own.
Yeah. No, that's fair enough. And I guess with relationships and stuff, I mean, I hadn't been in like a proper serious relationship before meeting you, and like, well, I'm still here 7 years later. To be honest, like, I feel like with just advice and stuff, you can have all the advice in the world, but you know, you still might not get anywhere. I think for me, I had to learn
As you went.
as I went. Yeah, like quite literally. I think that's something just to keep in mind, you know, and I think you learn a lot as well because of it.
Yeah.
That's what I think anyway.
And I think you've got to accept as well that sometimes people just aren't compatible. So like after a few dates, if you think, no, I don't kind of like you as a person. Well, not so much that you don't like them as a person, but you just don't think they're right for you.
In like a romantic sense.
Yeah, then it's probably best to be honest and kind of try and drag it out, because you're just going to end up being unhappy in the end.
Yeah, I suppose that's true, but also don't give up as well. You know, keep on going, and there is someone out there for everyone. That's what I genuinely believe that.
Yeah.
I don't believe in the one. I think that I think, you know.
I think you can have multiple ones, because it's like I believe that in stuff like in soulmates and stuff, but I don't feel like soulmates have to be romantic. You can have a friend who's your soulmate. You could have a parent who's a soulmate, or a sibling that you feel like is your soulmate. It doesn't have to be a romantical notion. Just like with the one, I feel like you can have many epic loves in your life, in a sense. Like you could be madly in love with someone, and that relationship might only last a year.
Yeah.
But you've had such good time, you had such great energy with that person, but it didn't work out, and then you can meet someone else and you could be with them for a year or two, and again you have such great energy, you feel so compatible, but there's just something that just doesn't connect, and then you move on to someone else.
Yeah, no, I think that's a really great point. But now, for the moment, because I want to talk about the wedding stuff, but I want to talk about the next little part of the podcast. I wanted to introduce a section which you came to me with, and that is what grinds our gears.
Oh my god, yes.
Yes. Do you remember this?
Yes, queen. Right. So what grinds your gears, Andy?
Oh, right. What grinds my gears? The first thing I've got down on my list is shopping. Specifically food shopping.
Oh yeah.
The reason why this grinds my gears is because obviously you go in a supermarket or whatever for a purpose. You go in there to shop and get the things that you need, and then get out of there, pay for it, all of that lovely stuff. That is the sole purpose of why they are there. Mm-hmm. People have this thing where they'll socialise in supermarkets, and with like their trolleys, they'll take up an entire aisle with their shopping trolleys, and you want to get past them, but they're like, oh, the bread is stale, or they just talk about their curtains, and like, oh, I put up new curtains on Friday, and it looks delightful with my bonfire extravaganza wallpaper. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I just think like some people just don't have a sense of others.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people are just like, they see someone they know, they stop in the middle of the supermarket, so they're blocking the whole aisle off with the trolley, and then they chat to their friend, and it's a case of like, obviously it's a bit different if you saw your friend, so you take your trolley to one side and you go, hiya, how you doing? Like, have your conversation, whatever, that's fair dues. At least you're not blocking the whole aisle, but...
Yeah, exactly. The reason why it grinds my gears also is just the fact that shops, well, supermarkets in particular, they move their stock all of the time.
So it's like one day the bread's down aisle number 2, the next couple weeks later you go in, it's down aisle number 7, and it's like, why do you do this?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what really grinds my gears, though? Going on the subject of supermarkets, right? So there's been a
just for the audio listeners, Nicola was
there was a hair.
There was a hair and a tongue, so I got a quite lovely visual. Yes, what grinds your gears, love?
So, you know, we go to a supermarket, so like, let's just say we're going to Asda, and they bring out a product, and it's like, I don't know, something pasta and sauce, and it's like the best thing you've ever tasted, and it's like your new obsession, and you love it so much.
Yes.
And then after a few weeks, you can never find it again. And you always ask, when are you getting this pasta in? And they always say they've taken it off now. And it's like, why? Because it wasn't in as high demand as they thought it was going to be. Well, it was in demand for me. I love that product. Why did you take it away?
I was gonna say, do you know what? Talking about the autism community, that's something that I see quite often. Like an autistic person will have like a safe food. Like safe foods are actually a thing, right? Where they're like a specific type of food or whatever, and then the company discontinues it or changes the formula so it's not exactly the same. Then obviously like the kid or the adult, because adults have this as well. I have this. Mm-hmm. If my like kind of food that I like has changed in some way, it's just like no, you've literally just ruined my day. But it's actually a thing that actually annoys me. Actually, I didn't actually think about that.
Yeah, for me, it's more like you find a new product, and you're so excited because you found something relatively new that you like, and it's like, oh, this is great. You really like it. You're gonna make it like a regular part of like your shopping, so you can have it like every week. And then it's just like, no, there wasn't enough demand for it, so they've removed it. And it's just like, but that's not fair because I liked it. Just because other people haven't liked it doesn't mean that I shouldn't be able to have it. Even if they just brought a small amount of stock in every week and just kept just for me.
Just for you. Just for you. I guess the other thing with shopping as well, for me anyway, this is more of an autism thing for me. You obviously know about this. It's like the aisles are so small.
In some supermarkets, yeah.
And like they're quite busy. I remember Aldi is going to be my example. Sorry if people shop at Aldi, but it's just a personal thing. It's not a reflection of them as a brand or anything like that. But I can't shop at Aldi.
Not the one in County Durham where we live anyway.
Yeah, I think we went with your mum one time. You and your mum have a thing about going to the shops together.
Well, we used to.
Yeah.
Now she's got a boyfriend. She doesn't need me anymore.
Can I get on with my story, please? Thank you. We went to the shop, and you and your mum were having your chat or whatever. First day, I'm thinking, how can you chat and shop? I don't understand that. But also, it was just really busy that day. People were just being generally like the people that really grind my gears. So they were like blocking the aisles. People were like, you'd say like, "Excuse me, can I get past?" and they just wouldn't do it. And it's just like, I don't know, like, can I just shop without the just people being there? And basically I got really stressed. I got really stressed out, didn't I? Because I didn't really say much. I was trying to avoid like chucking like Coca-Cola at someone's head. But anyway, we left the shop, and I was like, right, Nicola, I am not going back to Aldi ever again. I'm never going back to Aldi ever again. I don't care how cheap it is or whatever. I am not going back. So that's when we changed supermarkets to Lidl, and I prefer Lidl.
To be fair, Lidl and Aldi, there's not much in the price difference anyway, except for like obviously in Aldi you can get more branded, like well-known products.
Yeah.
Where in Lidl you're getting like all unbranded products, or you unless have certain things on offer in there. Like obviously you can get like Pepsi and stuff, but
yeah, but I like Aldi. I was gonna say I like Aldi. I don't like Aldi. I like Lidl.
I like Lidl because they've got like a fresh bakery section. So if we ever do like homemade soup, I like to get like the crusty bread from there. Yeah.
And also I like Lidl because it's spacious. You can actually get around people. It's delightful.
Yeah.
It's absolutely, and plus they don't have blaring music on as well. And in terms of lighting, well, where we go, it's not too bad. It's actually quite nice.
I feel like I'm the only girl in existence that absolutely hates going like shopping. When then people go to like the Metro Centre, so they go out and go to like all the shops and go shopping. They can spend hours shopping. Like for me, if I'm going for a sole purpose, say I need to go get some new shoes. If I'm literally only going to go to the shoe shops, I'm not going to go off and spend an hour in Primark. I'm not going to go off and spend half an hour in WH Smith's. I'm not going to go around looking at other things. If I'm going for shoes, I'm going for shoes. I want to be in, out, gone. Because for me, what I hate the most about shopping is the fact that, like, say for instance you're walking down and someone's in front of you,
Yeah.
they'll see something in the window that catches their interest, so they just stop, but then you practically walk into them.
Oh, God.
And then they look at you like you're oh, sorry. They look at you like you're the idiot. And I'm just like, well, no, you're the one that just randomly stopped without any sort of warning. It's like, I can't help the fact that you saw something sparkly in the window, so you've decided to stop.
Yeah. Oh, God. Oh, people like that. But, to be fair, I do that sometimes, though. I'll be walking and then I see something and I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, but normally, though, like, fair enough, everyone does it, but, like, you've got to be conscious of people around you. Like, for me, I wouldn't just randomly stop knowing that there was people walking behind me, because it's just stupid. Because what do you expect? Of course they're going to practically walk into you, because they're not expecting you just to suddenly stop.
True enough.
At least, like, try and move out, like, stand back and let them past, or, like, move out the way so they can get around me. I wouldn't just stand there in the middle of the shopping centre and stop and look at a window, and it's just like, well, either walk up to the window to look, or move back so we can get past. Like, you don't need to just stop.
If you see us out in public,
Please
don't stop. Just get out of our way. What else grinds your gears, love?
There's not so much a controversial thing that grinds my gears, but it's more the fact that I know there's people out there with children that this is going to probably offend slightly.
Right.
And it's people that take pictures of their children
my
every
God.
single day and post them on the internet.
Do you know what? I'm just going to stop you there. That was on my list.
Was it?
Yeah, I'm telling
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
it was actually on my list.
No,
but,
but
like,
you know what I mean though? Like, Jonathan's been popped out the room 2 seconds and he's already on Facebook. Like, I'm sorry, but give your kid, like, if you want to take personal pictures for memories, that's all well and good, but you don't need to share them with every single person on your Facebook feed or your Instagram feed.
Right.
Maybe one to say, look, he's here, he's born, woo, congratulations, so people can say congratulations, but it's like, okay, so it's day 1, he's had 20 photos on Facebook today. Day 2, he's 2 days old, why do we need to see another 20 photos? He's 3 days old, why do we need to see another, like...
Just so people who are listening to this are fully aware, we are not parents.
No.
We have not, obviously, gone through the process of
Having a child.
I was actually going to say popping a child out.
Well, you wouldn't go through that process. I would go through that process.
Well, it's a process for me it will be a process for me as well, because I'd be there holding your hand and you'd like break my hand by going
The thing is, I understand that people want to share photos of their kid.
No, that's the
Want
thing.
people
Yeah,
to see,
I
like-
agree.
Like, especially if you've got family in like other countries or like up and down the country, like you want to be able to show them progress of the child. I get that, but there's different ways and means to do it. I don't mind it when, like, don't get us wrong, there's people I know that have kids who post Facebook pictures or Instagram pictures of their kids, and it's okay if it's like the odd one every couple of weeks or so. I don't mind that. But what I hate is the fact that there's
every day.
Some of them out there are posting like 6, 7, 8 pictures a day of their kid. Like, I don't care if your kid's eating a bit of apple. Like, I really don't care. It's a child, it's going to eat food. I don't care if your toddler's decided it's making babbly sounds. Babies make babbly sounds. Do you know what I mean though? Like, I think there's certain things that should be kept private, and if you want to collect photos and stuff and videos of your child, then that's down to you, but you don't need to share that with the whole world. Like, nobody gives a flying monkeys if your Jonathan has decided he's going to take a bath tonight. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't need to see a picture of your child in the bath. Like, I don't.
I was just gonna say, I personally feel really uncomfortable when a parent has decided to take a picture of their child and like half naked and stuff. Unless obviously there's a reason for it. I know of an Instagram page. The kids got autism and ADHD, so they don't wear a top because it's a sensory issue for them. I don't mind that.
Yeah, it's different.
I
but
obviously
the kid's
understand
wearing,
that.
Yeah, but the kid's wearing some clothes at least. It's when they're full on in the bath and then they put like one of those emoji stickers over the private bits, and it's like, you shouldn't be posting a picture like that anyway. You don't know what creeps on the internet.
I was gonna say that kind of thing makes me uncomfortable, to be perfectly honest. Like, see, I'm not against people posting pictures of like their kid and stuff. Obviously, you know, you've carried this child for like
You want to show it
Well,
off, yeah, I get it.
Well, you know, however long you carry a child for, and then it's it's obviously arrived by carrier pigeon. It's arrived, and you obviously want to share the news about Bartholomew, and share the life of Bartholomew.
I just think it's a bit sad though that these kids are going to grow up and it's like, oh mum, do you have any baby pictures of us? And it's going to be, check my Facebook. It's not going to be like, oh yeah, go look at the baby book, or there's a photo album.
Yeah, I was going to say that's something that me and Nicola are actually quite strong believers in. I believe in photos and keeping photos.
Or like home videos, like fair dues.
Yeah. Because for me, I didn't have home video growing up. You did.
Mm-hmm.
So like I've actually seen when you family went to like Disney World and all that stuff. I didn't have that as a kid. I never had that.
Like I get it's a modern age when people do that, but it's a case. It's like
when does it go too far? I think.
It's not so much when it goes too far. I just think it's sad to think that there's going to be generations of children out there that the only photos they're going to have or videos they're going to have is what the parents post on Facebook for everyone to see, and it's just like that child never, like, they're not going to have the experience of looking through photo albums or watching home videos, and it's just like, for me that's just kind of sad because there's certain memories that should be just between you and your family.
Yeah,
it shouldn't have to be that Doris down the street is seeing your child go off to, I don't know, if like their first ever like school trip. Like Doris down the street don't care if your kid's gone for its first school trip, but that should be a precious memory for you and your family.
Yeah,
it doesn't need to be shared with everyone.
But yeah, no, that's something that grinds our gears. Is there anything? Do you feel like this part of the podcast has been therapeutic for you?
I feel like I've got a lot of stress out.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness. It's going to be easier communicating with you tonight without having that residual anger. I do want to talk about the engagement and wedding a little bit. I proposed to you several years after we first met, and people like your family and stuff were like joking, oh, when you're gonna put a ring on it?
Yeah.
For years prior, and I was just like, marriage is not even on my radar, because to be perfectly honest with everyone, I never thought I was actually gonna get married ever. It was never on my radar.
Mm-hmm.
It was never on my radar. I thought I was going to
live the bachelor lifestyle forever.
What bachelor life? What like playing COD in my room?
I thought you were going to say playing COD in my underwear.
Wow. I mean, to be fair, you have made me a lot more civilized. But no, like married life was just never something that was on the horizon for me. So when, I don't know, years gone by, you had alluded to it quite a few times.
You mean I dropped hints of like, that would look nice on my finger.
Yeah, that tip. I think that's kind of the nice thing about our relationship. It is somewhat. It's pretty much. It's like a typical relationship, really. Like
See, for me, marriage wasn't the be all and end all. It was just, I thought it would just be a nice way to show that we are not so much committed, because I don't feel like you need a piece of paper to show you commit to someone, but I think it's like that thing of, we're going to be, in society's eyes, a proper family. We combine our two families.
Combine our two families and have a child to unify our... It's kind of like Romeo and Juliet, only less tragic.
Yeah. Well, not so much like that, because it's not like our families hate each other. Like, my grandparents love your parents. Yeah,
and your mum likes me. My mum loves you.
Yeah, I'm like your parents' favourite child now.
No.
Yeah.
No.
If they had to pick between me, you and Katie, they're gonna pick me.
For the audio listeners, when Nicola said that, I kind of looked in shock, wide-eyed. Anyway, getting onto the proposal. I asked you before we were going to go out to our friend Jordan's Halloween party.
Mm-hmm.
And like obviously you had alluded to getting engaged and stuff like that. And I was thinking, this was like 5 years into our relationship at this point. So I was thinking, it's been 5 years. I'm not unhappy. I'm actually quite happy. And I was also in a good place as well, because of my job. My job was really good, and you were in a good place. We were both in a good place.
We were living together as well. Fair enough.
No, we weren't.
We were living at my mum's at the time, weren't we?
No, because I was still at the council at the time. I was still working at the council in admin at the time. And like I kind of thought, you know what, it's time to level up.
Level up the relationship.
Yeah. And before I proposed, I actually went out to get a ring. I actually did it. I don't talk about this very often, but I feel like I am quite a traditional person in some aspects. Like, I wanted to be the one who, got the ring and stuff like that. I didn't ask for permission.
Well, traditionally though, you asked the father's permission to marry the daughter.
Yes.
But obviously not in my case.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I could have asked you, your grandparents, but I did not. Not because I didn't want to. I was terrified of them saying no, because it was something that I really wanted. It was something I was like, I really want.
Do you really think my nana would miss the opportunity to plan a wedding?
Well, even though I've known I knew your family 5 years up to that point, I was still uncertain, because I can't read people.
Yeah.
And like, you could say something and mean something entirely different. That's kind of the part of being autistic for me, which I really struggle with. But no, anyway, I got this ring. Basically, you were getting ready upstairs. I brought the ring with me when we were staying at your mum's that weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And I was dressed in my pumpkin outfit, because it was a Halloween party, guys, just for full context. I was in my pumpkin outfit, and you were in a pirate costume, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. Went upstairs, and actually, do you want to tell the story? Because your way of telling it is much better than mine. I'm not much of a storyteller.
Well, I was stood there, dressed as pirate, finishing off my makeup, and then you were like, oh, your outfit looks nice, but it's missing something. And I was like, what? What do you mean? And then you were like, turn around. So I turned around, you were on one knee with a ring, and I was just like, what? I was like, no. Are you being serious?
I feel like that doesn't give like the full accurate representation of what happened.
You explain it then.
Well, you were really good up to the point where you were like, basically you were in tears. You were sobbing and excited.
Sobbing.
I don't know what the right word is. Obviously, with the question, I went, Nicola Louise Hughes, will you do me the pleasure of marrying me or something. I can't remember exactly what it was, because we went out to the party and everyone was congratulating us. We were both drunk. It was great. It was a fun time. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that was the proposal. Basically, I know it's not, to some people, it's not the most romantic thing in the world. But for me, and well, for you, actually, we do plan things out quite a lot. We kind of know what we're doing, where we're going. So I just wanted to be spontaneous. Mm-hmm. So here's my question. Were you actually surprised?
Yes, because to be honest, I thought, because you don't know if you'd ever want to get married. So like, for me it was a case of like, well, it's probably never going to happen.
Well, the reason why I think I was saying at the time I didn't think of getting married is because I didn't feel like it was important to have the title, because I kind of felt like the status and legality, it's obviously a good thing. But
well, not so much for like legality, because now if you're with someone for a certain period of time, I can't remember if it's like 4 years or 5 years, if you're with them for a certain amount of time, you basically have the same rights as a married couple anyway.
I guess for me it was just, I don't know, I just wasn't sure if it was going to be for me, I guess. Not because I wasn't committed to you, that's not it. I don't know. The whole idea of getting married was a weird thing to me, really. But yeah, so anyway, that's how we got That's how we got engaged. A little bit unorthodox. In my proposal, the same way that I asked you out all those years ago. Yeah, so we'd been planning the wedding for quite some time. We were supposed to be married the 30th of April 2020. Obviously, the big...
Coronavirus.
That whole thing happened, and then we rescheduled it to September, and then
They were like, no, you can only have 30 people, and I was just like, I'm not getting married with 30 people.
yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, just absolutely no.
Not with the
no
amount
way.
of money that we would be putting into going to the venue and
Yeah.
the registry and all the other expenses. It was like, I'd rather wait and have the amount of people we can
have the ceremony that we actually want to have, because at this point, because I was nervous about it, because we had to have like a set amount of people and stuff. I was nervous about it because
I didn't want to cut people either. Like, being like,
Yeah.
oh, you can't come now, you can't come now.
yeah, well, well, at the beginning I was nervous because obviously it's a lot of people, and yeah, I don't like being the center of attention in my personal life. Obviously, I think people get the wrong idea sometimes, because with YouTube, obviously I'm in people's faces. I'm all over the place. I'm saying like, this is, for the rights of autistic people, we must do this, and all that stuff. But privately, like Andy, Andy as in your partner. I'm not really about that life.
Yeah, I'm not really one for centre of attention either, which is making me think, why did we plan a semi-medium biggish wedding?
But that's what you wanted, though.
I just feel like if you're gonna do it, you might as well do it, not so much massive, but like memorable for us.
Yeah, but like pretty much it was all planned. Then obviously the big C happened. So it's been rescheduled to April 2021.
Which I'm hoping by that point the government will either just be like, screw it, do what you want, who cares about Rona anymore, or it's going to be the case of they'll probably be in a second wave, so we probably won't be getting married then either.
Well, I think if it comes to that point, I think we'll have to sort something out.
I think we should just go for it. Do the ceremony with 30 people if we have to.
Yeah.
And then at least it's done.
If obviously we can't have the amount of people, I think we are just going to go for it in 2021, because we have plans for the future, I guess.
Well, obviously, because it's a case of we're both getting up there in age, staring 30 in the face.
We're not spring chickens, and I'm going to have some older people in my audience being like, huh, you're spring chickens.
Yeah, but I just mean, like, for our future plans, biologically as a woman, I only have a set amount of time. And obviously, the earlier we get cracking, the better chances we have
of getting a kid by carrier pigeon.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
They're in high demand, it takes a while.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, sometimes it can take a couple of years.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're hard to persuade, those carrier pigeons.
And when you hit a certain age as a lady, they just automatically reject your application forms.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh God, that's so terrible.
I know.
God. Oh God, let's get a petition. It's a little bit of fun, and I don't know, people can get to know us a little bit more. I have some couples, like a couples round.
Well, is it like Mr. and Mrs.?
Kind of. I've basically just got some random questions, and I just want to see where it goes. So, what do you think is my best quality? And I'll.
Do you mean attractive quality as in, like, what do I find the most attractive about you? Or is it more, what is your personality, or?
Best quality of whatever.
I would say for me would be your best quality attractively is your eyes, because they're beautiful. And I'd say for like characteristic or personality trait or whatever, I would probably have to say the fact that you have a similar sense of humour to me, so that is a bonus, because I can have quite a dark sense of humour sometimes.
I was going to say it can be a little bit much sometimes, but yes.
So I guess your sense of humour, your eyes.
And that's about it.
Well, that's like a physical physical attraction in a non-physical attraction.
Yeah. No, that's great. That's a great answer. I sounded so sarcastic.
Right.
Right.
Go on then. What's mine?
Physically, your hair. I love your hair. It's my favourite thing.
Is it because it's long?
It's long, and also like in the night you just allow me to play with it. That's like it's obviously my like favourite stimming thing in the world.
Do you know what you're going to be really sad about?
What?
Yesterday when I was doing my makeup and I was trying to do my hair, I was thinking, you know what, I'd actually look pretty good with quite short hair, because I used to have short hair when I was younger.
Yeah.
Like I was thinking like chin length bob cut.
No. No, that's awful.
I would never go back to that.
No, please don't. You're depriving me of a stem.
I think for ease I'd go for a length that I could still tie up.
Yeah.
But I think the ends do need to get chopped off after we get married because they are getting a bit dry.
No, that's fine. But that's my favourite quality about you in a physical sense. I just love you.
Completely.
But that's like my favourite part. In terms of personality wise, you're quite a determined person.
Do you mean like I'm a Karen? Or do you mean
No,
like...
good God, no.
I'm too socially awkward to complain to a manager. I'd literally just rather just leave and not go.
No. Like,
You mean that like if I want something, I'll make sure I get it.
Yeah, like you have a good determination. You do work hard.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel like we do have kind of like the same work ethic, I guess. You know.
I mean, if I could be a lady of leisure and lie around and watch Jeremy Kyle all day, I'd definitely take it.
Yeah, I know you would, but I don't know. You just have that. You just have like, I don't know. You just have a good sense of work ethic, and I just like it really. Next question is worst quality.
The fact that you breathe really heavy when you sleep.
That's not that bad.
It is bad.
It's
like
not
sometimes
that bad.
I can't fall asleep properly because you're like. It's like sort of like between a snore and a heavy breathing, but sometimes you do little snores. And it's just. The thing is, I never used to notice you do it.
Yeah.
Until like the last few months, and over the last few months, it's sort of like, I don't know if it's because I used to fall asleep before you, so I was already in like a deep sleep way before you would go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like even now when I'm about to doze off and then you decide you're going to sleep,
Yeah.
it's like as soon as I'm about to close my eyes and drift off peacefully, it starts, and then I have to try and ignore it, or I'm awake for a while until I feel so tired that I can't.
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of unexplainable, that one really. But I'm sorry.
I know you can't help it. It's fine. I'll get over it.
You get annoyed by little things, and you kind of escalate when it doesn't need escalating.
What are you trying to say?
I'm trying to say that, you know, if there's something minutely wrong, you know, or like something annoys you, you go on about it, but I can't say anything because I do that sometimes.
Yeah. It's not so much like, oh, I get annoyed so I make a big deal out of it. It's more probably for the fact that there's been a lot of things that's built up and then that was like the final straw and that's what's annoyed me.
Yeah.
Do you feel like I complain too much?
Oh God, no.
Are you trying to say that? I just nag all the time.
No.
Okay, cool.
Is there a memory that you have of me that always makes you laugh?
There's probably a few, but the most distinct one, the time we were talking about horses, and you wanted to be a Charles Xavier horse, and that was the one thing that always makes me laugh. Maybe because it was quite dark humour. Like I won't obviously repeat the whole conversation in case it offends anyone, but it was basically quite a dark sort of moment, and that's when I realised that we shared the same dark humour. And it was just like, that's actually hilarious, but also really offensive.
Oh god, I completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh, but basically my mind went somewhere that.
I don't think you intended it. I think
Oh
I
god,
twisted
no,
it
no,
into
no,
something
no.
quite dark.
I think the thing is with me, you know, if we're talking about something, sometimes my mind just goes there and I just say it.
Yeah,
It-
but it was hilarious.
But it was funny. It was
Yeah.
funny. It was comedically timed because I think over 7 years there's just stuff that we've done that is just funny. I guess.
Like that random photo I took on your phone. Where I literally look like a bum.
I'll say I've got him as my favourite, by the way.
Please do not share that photo.
I won't do. Don't worry.
It's hilarious, but it's also embarrassing because I look like a potato mixed with a thumb.
Actually, do you know what? I am actually going to say that.
What, a potato mixed with a thumb?
No. Like, basically, the story of this photo was I was at work, I believe. I'm pretty sure I was at work. And for some reason, you sent me a message because, like I don't normally look at my phone during the day. I looked at my phone anyway, you know. And then I see a message from Nicola. I was like, all right, I'm sure it's something lovely, like, oh, I love you, or, you know, make sure you get the buns for tea or whatever. That's typically the kind of conversations that we have over text. No, it turns out it's a picture of a face and a thumb, or whatever it was you said.
If it was a mixture between a potato and a thumb.
I was close then. Faces and potatoes.
It was a picture of my face, but it was a mixture of me looking like a potato mixed with a thumb.
I saw it and I was just like, what the hell?
Because I zoomed right in on my face, so you could literally see my eyes, my nose, and my mouth.
But there was like literally nothing else. It just looked just so weird. Was it you that took the photo?
Yeah. I just zoomed right in on my face and took this picture because I thought it would be funny.
To be fair,
Wasn't I trying to show you the bit of the tooth that chipped? And it just sort of came out looking like a potato. Or was that before I chipped my tooth?
I don't know why you did it, but somehow you did.
Hilarious.
You sent it to me, so I was just like, okay, that's actually quite funny.
I think in my head I was thinking, if I send you this, you're gonna laugh out loud, and it's gonna be funny because people are gonna be like, "What you laughing at?"
Yeah. Okay. Next question. Favorite memory.
There's too many to choose from.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, it could be a holiday. It could be like just.
I would say the first time I went on holiday, but I was dying of tonsillitis, so it wasn't really the fondest first kick off to a holiday, but it was a good holiday. I do remember that holiday quite well.
So if just for context, we went to Scarborough as our first actual like holiday because you did end up recovering like a few days.
I was really ill though. Like the first night when we first got there, the only thing I wanted to do was go straight to sleep.
Yeah.
So I kind of felt bad because I'd like killed the whole first day by sleeping pretty much.
Yeah, and because I was excited, I wanted to go and have a look around. You were just like, oh, I'm dying. So but it was a good holiday though.
To be fair, I was so ill. That was I've had tonsillitis before.
Yeah.
But I'd never been that ill with it, and it like completely flawed us. Like I was like having like fever, sweats, and all sorts. Like I wouldn't even wish that on my worst enemy. That was like the worst horrific experience in my life. It's like the illest I think I've ever been. I can deal with throwing up or whatever, but that was just horrendous.
Yeah. I was gonna say my favourite memory was Edinburgh. Basically, if this was 2017, I actually vlogged it. It's on my Indie Andy channel if anyone wants to have a look at it. But I loved that holiday. I absolutely loved it.
I think for me, I can't really choose holidays as necessarily favourite memories because I get so stressed with the whole travelling aspect.
Yeah, I know you do.
So for me, it's like I enjoy myself once I'm there, but before getting there and then the coming back, for me, I ruin it for myself because I stress that much.
When we went to Edinburgh, you were so stressed out because we got off at I can't remember what the train station is. Like the trains, not Haymarket, if anyone lives in Edinburgh, but the other one. We got off there, we were staying at the Premier Inn on Princess Street. You were like, I want to find the hotel. And I was like, look, it's just down the road, chill out. I've already looked up. Because I'm the sort of person that plans ahead. Because, for me, I like to know where I'm going and stuff like that. So I already Google mapped it.
I think it's just because, obviously, I don't like going new places because I don't know where things are. I don't know how, it's not like a comfort area for me. That's why when we first went to Scarborough, it was a lot better because I've been to Scarborough so many times. I know where stuff is. I wasn't that stressed about it.
Yeah, and I'd been there as well, but yeah.
Obviously, Edinburgh, the first time either of us have ever been, it's like we don't know where anything is. We don't know how to get anywhere. That's what was stressing me out.
But the reason why it was my favourite holiday because once that was over and done with, we had a great time. Went to Camera Obscura, Edinburgh Zoo. Got to meet with my friend Joe as well. It was nice. It was a good. I thought it was one of my favourite memories. 3 things I've just got 3 things written down in my llama notepad.
That I bought you for your birthday.
Yes. I guess this is 3 things that we want to do as a couple.
Get married, have a baby, travel. I mean, I know I'm stressed with travelling, but I'd like to go to America.
Right, where? Okay, right. Well, where would you want to go to in America then?
Disney World. Do you know what I want to do? I want to
What?
visit every Disney World or Disneyland in the world.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you actually want to do that?
Yeah. So obviously I've already done Florida myself, but I want to take you.
Yeah.
Then I would want to do Paris, because obviously that's the next nearest one. Then maybe do California.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's one in Japan as well.
For some reason I thought it was Hong Kong.
No, Japan.
Oh, right. Actually, do you know what? That's actually quite a cool plan because I've never been to America, so I would love to go to America. I love Japan. I would love to go to Japan. Mm-hmm. I'm going to end that little question there. I think that was great. That was a great answer.
Mm-hmm. Plus, if you have kids, it's something for them to do as well.
Yeah, that's true. But actually, the next question is about children. What features do you think the kid's going to have? Or what would you prefer?
See, what, do you mean genetically?
Just based on the parents.
Both of us have such strong family genes, with your eye colour and stuff, and my eye colour. But I also have the curse of my family's nose. So for me, I would prefer them to have your nose over my nose. Mm-hmm. I think height-wise, they're probably going to be tall because we're both quite tall anyway.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've both got quite dark hair, so it's obviously going to have dark hair.
Yeah.
But it's just down to eye colour, because obviously my eye colour is passed down through generations. Your eye colour is being passed down through generations.
I think my eye colour is a mixture of my mum and my dad's. I don't know what my dad's eye colour is. I've never actually taken the time to look.
Blue.
Are there?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. Brown hair? Because we're both brunette?
Yeah, well, we're both brunette. Your hair's more of a darker brown than mine. Yours is newer enough black.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
It's brown?
Yeah, but it's a very dark brown.
No, it's not.
It is.
It's just brown.
It's dark brown.
I would say your hair's dark brown.
It is.
Okay, so dark brown.
But I have really dark brown eyes, and genetically, brown eyes is more of a dominant gene than blue eyes.
Well, I've got this bet with you that it's going to be me. That if my eye colour's going to pull through, because I think if my eye colour pulls through.
Yeah, but you've got to look at genetics.
I don't care about the genetics.
If you have a blue-eyed parent and a brown-eyed parent, you've got a 75% chance of it being brown-eyed over blue-eyed.
I'm gonna take that 25% chance and run with it, and it's gonna happen.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, don't get your hopes up because the chances are probably be brown eyes.
Well, see, I don't care. I'm still gonna be happy that a little mini me's gonna be running around.
I mean, preferably, I would actually prefer your eye colour because I think your eye colour is quite unique. Because yours is sort of a mixture between the blue and the green.
And also, everyone talks about it in my comment section. I've told you about this, haven't I?
Yeah, that people flirt with you over your eyes.
Yeah, it's quite creepy. It's quite creepy, but it's nice though. I just because I've always had the eye colour. I've never seen it as anything more than that, really. But yes, To be honest, I'm just going to be happy that we're going to have that we're potentially going to have a little person run around. That's what I'm going to be happy with. But I guess the question to end this couples round is, where do you see us in 10 years' time?
Well, realistically,
Yeah.
I see us obviously together with kids, probably working, trying to balance work life and home life. Hopefully travelled a little bit.
Yeah, because that's something that I really want to do. I do want to travel around a bit more.
Yeah.
Even though you're like, no offense, you're kind of like the worst person to travel with, because you get it's just the travel to and from. You get stressed about it, but you know, obviously I think that's where I'm stronger. But
but unrealistically, I'd like to say living that millionaire lifestyle.
I guess for me, married, kids, have a bigger house, because I want a bigger house. Mainly so I've got more space to do YouTube stuff and actually have a proper setup, so we can have 2 mics going at the same time. Where at the minute it just looks it looks like a bomb site in here.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of space. It's quite a small 2-bedroom house, and obviously you think for a couple or 2 bedrooms that's a lot of room.
Yeah.
But it's not really, because the rooms are quite big, like the bedrooms, but it's just downstairs. Like the living room's quite small, the kitchen's quite small. You don't really have a lot of room to put up like decor.
Yeah, and pictures as well.
Yeah, there's not like a lot of wall space to like hang stuff and that.
And we don't actually have cupboards downstairs.
Well, we have like kitchen cupboards, but we don't have like
No, not cupboards.
like units,
what
like shelving.
Shelving, that's it. For the audio, I was pointing over to my shelves that are in my videos, the black ones, because we were going to put them down. I think we were going to put them downstairs.
Yeah, because I was going to not put like all our junk on it. I was going to use them to put like ornaments and stuff on.
Yeah, but now they've become a iconic feature of my channel.
Yeah.
So it's going to be...
the idea was we were going to put like our books and DVDs and stuff on them, but then put like knickknacks on.
Which we have done.
Yeah, but it's up here out the way, and like the bottom few shelves are just a mess.
Yeah, but yeah, no, so really, in terms of what we're going to do over the next 10 years is just live life, get children by carrier pigeon, anxiously go to places. go to places.
I feel like if I have kids, I feel like I'll be like Mama Bear, so I feel like I'll step up and be more like...
You will be the epiphany of Mother Bear.
I think I'll start being like... even if I don't feel it, like for myself, I'll probably act less anxious and more confident for the kids' sake.
Yeah.
Because obviously I wouldn't want them to be like, oh, I'm anxious, I'm stressed because we're travelling.
You know, it's going to take both of us to raise a human being that's going to be respectful to other human beings and not a piece of trash human being.
Yeah.
But I think we can do it over the next 10 years and, you know, have fun along the way. Last question, and this is a question I ask everyone. What advice would you give to someone to unmask or to express their true self?
I think as you get, like, if you're a younger person, I feel like as you get older, you just realise that everyone's the same. People all have stuff going on in their lives. People are insecure about different things. Everyone's basically in the same boat. You've just kind of got to learn not to care what people think, because if like, say for instance, you're scared to be yourself because you like a particular thing and you don't think other people are going to like that, then that's fair. Like, yeah, fair enough. Not everyone is going to like that thing, and some people are obviously going to be more vocal than others about not liking it, but it's a case of you just need to do what makes you happy, because if you hide it away and then don't do it because you think, oh, I'm going to be judged for it, then you're just not going to be happy either way. You might as well be judged, but at least you're going to be happy because you're doing something you enjoy. I think you've just got to try and understand that sometimes people deflect. So because it's not so much that they don't like who you are or what you're or the thing that you're into, it's a case of they're insecure about other things in their life, so it's easier for them to project that onto you.
Do you mean like project what they're feeling onto other people? So like... Yeah,
I think you've got to kind of get into the mindset of that person is obviously insecure about something or has something going on in their lives, but they're just using me as an excuse to like let out their frustration and anger or like whatever it is that they're being vocal about or judging you about, because it's a case of they're probably got something that they want to do or someone who they want to be, but they fear that judgment, so it's easier to basically knock someone else down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So just do what makes you happy and screw them if they can't take a joke.
Well, thank you so much for coming on to my podcast. Thank you so much, love.
You're very welcome, but I'm really, really hungry and tired.
Okay. Well, thank you very much to everyone for listening to this episode of the Unmasked podcast. If you want to follow this podcast, make sure you follow and, check out the YouTube channel. There's a link's going to be down below in the description because I upload weekly autism related content on there on a Tuesday. And, just have a look, have a gander. If it's something that you like, subscribe, click the bell, just follow me. If you've enjoyed this podcast and you want to see more. Me and Nicola, I'm just going to tell you now, we're going to be doing a Christmas edition of the podcast, but, I'll tell you more about it later.
I'm so excited for Christmas.
She is. But anyway, thank you very much for listening to this edition of the Unmasked podcast, and we will see you very soon. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.